Welcome, everybody, to the continuing web interview series, Beyond Television, Life Beyond Television. I am here with the incredible Marisa Levy. Again, she and I have known each other from forever, since we were both young and spry and kind of bouncy and everything during early days at Discovery. But thank you for joining me. Good to see you as always.
Good to see you.
Yes, always. Okay.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Because I think you have a really great perspective to give kind of advice to people who are in television right now who are thinking they can't break out. So tell us about your awesome time in television.
Sure. So I have been in television or was in television for over 15 years. I had begun as a documentary filmmaker and then jumped onto the network side, working in the Discovery family for many years, then jumping back into the field, working on the production company side of things and global production company side of things for a number of years, and then jumping back to the network in the Discovery family again, working at TLC Network for about 6.5 years, running development on their East Coast, and then left to go to Viacom CBS at MTV and VH1, and then was moved out to BET to run unscripted for them and build out their streaming service. So many networks and a good couple years on the production and field side as well.
Yeah, and just to give some context to people who are watching this, is that what she did, and it's similar to what I did, is it's not uncommon to bounce from the network to the production company to the network to the production company because there's skills that complement each other, that kind of balance each other out. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. And, I find if people who have, quite frankly, only stayed on the network side don't have a true understanding of when you're working with a production company, what obstacles they're facing, what staffing obstacles they're facing, how they conceive of budgets and locations. And then if you're on the production company side of things, I'm always amazed when they're surprised. We still have to pitch internally on the network side. You have to pitch, you have to sell, you have to negotiate. It's not just writing a blank check. There's quite a lot of internal politics that you have to deal with. And so there's quite a lot of similarities in the way you conceive of projects and pitch them, both externally and internally.
Yeah, I used to talk to team members and people I consult with and say that network executive is your advocate inside. And so
Mhm.
you need to work with them to make their job easy and proud and everybody wins. And so it's a
Yep.
good kind of relationship to build. So, okay, so talk to me about the transition beyond television because I love your story.
Sure. Do you want me to tell you a little bit about what I did in TV or just how I jumped?
Let's talk about how you jumped. You jumped.
Okay,
Let's,
sure,
yeah.
sure, sure,
Yeah.
sure. So I had been at BET, and COVID had hit, and everything was kind of in a great sense of flux, and I was feeling a little stagnant, just specifically because of all the places I had listed. I had been fully embedded in like male content for a good couple of years and crime. Then I had jumped to TLC, did women's content, then had gone to MTV and VH1, where I thought I was doing more youth and urban. It wasn't quite so youthful. And then went to BET and really dug into the African American audience. And I felt like I know all these audiences. I know how to build for them and create for them. What I need more experience with are diverse platforms. And I thought I would still do that with production companies. I have quite a lot of international experience. So I thought, I'm gonna consult with international production companies. And really out of nowhere, I was approached by a recruiter from Audible. And Audible, the Amazon-based audio subscription service and production corporation, had just built an in-house studio, and they were looking for someone to run it. And I just remember thinking, is that something I'm capable of doing? But the recruiter was like, you know what, start the conversation. And I did. And what this was I think one of the most transformative experiences in my career. It was a 3-month interview process. And in learning about their business models and their studios, what became really apparent to me was your and our and my experience in content, in strategy, in audience building and understanding is transferable across platforms, across tech, across every type of entertainment you can think of. And sure, not everybody wants to build a deck and do that corporate life. I loved it personally. But by the end of the 3-month interview process, I was actually final candidate with the woman who ended up getting the role, who I thought was a great choice. But what it did for me was completely open my eyes to what my skill set could be. And from there, I had this moment where I said, okay, let's start playing in entertainment tech, like these digital platforms and all these companies who are building up, whether it's, the Spotify's of the world or, SoundClouds of the world or the Audibles, to anything that's looking to build content, they need people like us who not just know how to create ideas and build for an audience and understand a brand, but know how to produce and how to produce in multiple genres, multiple, whether it's audio, whether it's video, whether it's publishing, it's content. And that was, I mean, truly revelatory and just veered my career off the rails from television into a whole new world. And, I played around consulting with various entertainment and tech companies, helping them out to broaden into entertainment or broaden their audience, open up new options for them on new platforms, meaning like social platforms, short form digital, whatever it may be. And then ended up getting approached by two guys who were VCs and had great success doing companies not content related. And they wanted to do kind of a more personalized company that was a passion project for them, 100% content based. And they wanted me to come on as employee number one and create the whole thing. And it was a couples wellness subscription platform and 100% content based and coming in. It was everything I wanted to dig my teeth into and learn. So let's build a whole team from the ground up, and ended up hiring and bringing on and training, writers, audio producers, influencers, experts, researchers, partnership people, everything you could imagine, and then got to dig in, develop their brand. What is this brand? What does it mean? Let's develop the content platform itself. Let's develop the content product itself. Let's develop the writing style. Let's develop audio options, video options for them, promotional options for them. It was ground zero, run with it. And, was it something I wanted to do long term? Really? But for 2 years, it was the greatest opportunity to really expand my skill set, see my worth, see all the things I could do and build. The company's called Aria, if you would like to look it up. It's great. And it was an absolute joy in reminding myself, you're good at this. Look at the things you can do. It's not just TV. It's content. It's audience. It's understanding why people come to you for X entertainment product, distraction, whatever. And, when you're making a television show, you're producing a television show or creating a television show, the number one question is, why would people want to watch this? How are we engaging them? How are we keeping them engaged? What's the meat on this? And that skill set goes across brands, goes across platforms, goes into, can lean into marketing, can lean into branding, can lean into, quite frankly, any kind of content-based role that you probably never thought your skill set was applicable for. And so after a couple of years with them, I wanted something that was a little more aligned with my belief system. After being at TV for so long, you rarely get to do passion projects. And that's when I got to jump and join Rebel Girls, which is a young girl empowerment brand. And, they were killing it in publishing and killing it in audio. And they just needed someone to come in and really help them understand their potential in entertainment and video. And it has been an absolute joy to run with that brand and help them, see their potential in these areas and go to all my TV contacts and talk to them about this brand I'm so passionate about and come up with the wildest ideas that we can produce. And a lot of the work that I've been doing with them has been a lot of branded content and partnerships. If you had asked me 5 years ago, would we be creating videos for Meta or Nike? And, this is not something I thought was on my radar, but it is 100% within your skill set as a television person.
I think something you brought up that hits me is that brands and these companies are looking to tell stories. And so that's one thing that we bring to the table, and that might be, and I don't want to take away from marketing professionals, but that is something that maybe does give us a little bit of a leg up off print people or just people who do ads, et cetera. But the other thing I think that really we bring to the table at working in television is I just recently wrote an article called "The Shit Will Hit the Fan." Is we are used to it will go wrong. There will be a problem. There will be a delay. There will be something that happens. And producing and working in television, telling stories, but also pulling everything together means having so many balls up in the air that after a while it's like, oh, no, it's fine. It'll work out. So moving into this direction, I'm not saying that we've seen it all, but we have the skill set to handle and manage these types of projects and these types of situations.
And multiple of that. I think there was a moment when I was at MTV that I was managing like I think 4 productions. So for those of you who work in television, but you're managing entire crews on various locations, all running simultaneously with, various schedules, various budgets, various deadlines, various casting needs. And you're looking at the cuts in real time, or you're on set while you're managing other shoots on other locations. Television people, if I could just take a moment to brag about TV people,
Uh-huh.
these are the best multitaskers of any genre, of any career, of any skill set that I have ever met in my life.
Yeah,
You get
amen.
someone who has been a producer, and that is someone who can manage every problem you have ever seen times 10, plus celebrities throwing a fit.
Plus celebrities. Or I've dealt with a preemptive arrest warrant for my crew as they were about ready to go out on a shoot. Preemptive. I love that. That was a fun one. So if you had to narrow it down into like kind of three key recommendations,
Mhm.
for people, because I know that you've been keeping an eye on the industry and seeing what's happening
Yeah.
and a lot of people that we know. What would you say are three key bits of advice or just motivational statements you'd give them?
I think one, don't read the trades while drinking. No, don't read the trades and see the hopelessness. And, I saw recently an article that was like, LA is going to become the next Detroit. Okay. You know what? That our industry is collapsing and there's nowhere to go and we're all going to be trapped here. The reality is, again, you didn't grow up saying, I'm going to work in TV as if it's a singular skill. It isn't a singular skill. It is time management. It's budget management. It's creativity. It's creating out of nothing. It's producing. It's drawing out of people their best and managing people at their worst. It is managing huge crews of people. And that is a multifaceted skill set that is applicable to many different areas. So first of all, when you're looking and perusing new roles or possibly even new industries, focus on content. Focus on what are they looking for? Are they looking for someone who understands a brand? Are they looking for someone who understands an audience? Are they looking for someone who can manage a hurricane of craziness, because you are that person who can do it in calm. And very few other people have that skill set and have a tried and true record of being able to accomplish under the most stressful of situations and bring it to its best possible outcome. I genuinely believe people who work in television, people who have worked in the field, people who have managed the politics of a network, they have kind of the like strongest grit of anyone. And I'd say, remember who you are, remember what you're capable of, and bring it to every job description you look at, bring it to every conversation you have. And also, I just say this one little bit. People always say, "Oh, use your network," and I find that it's kind of icky. It's like, "Oh, let's work your people, let's work your
Mhm.
network, it feels almost superficial." What I like to say is talk to anyone and everyone you can talk to about their trajectory, about their journey,
Mhm.
about what revelations they've had in their career, about whatever genre they're working in, because it'll help you see your skill set differently and help you be more open to areas that you may never have even thought it was possible that you'd be great at.
Yeah, one of the things I've been talking to people and working on is having people that are looking to get out is stop fixating so much on the title and
Yes.
think about your unique skill set. Think about are you an amazing problem solver? Are you an amazing researcher? Are you an amazing booker? What are things that you do? Because those unique skill sets, not that title, that skill set is the thing that it makes you special.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so much of, these types of roles are creating content to engage an audience, regardless of platform, regardless of what you're selling or what you're trying to engage them with. And that skill set alone is universal, whether it's pharmaceuticals or tech or media or, you're selling bicycles, whatever it may be, you have that unique skill set that transcends. So, really embrace that because it is unique.
Any final words?
You know what? Be hopeful because the reality is I think for most of us, we thought we were going to have this straight line. You started in TV, whether you're at a network or in a production company, and there would be jobs forever because there were always jobs forever. Fine. Things are transitioning, but that doesn't mean that there's not content needs everywhere, whether it is YouTube, social, digital, more streaming, tech, entertainment, gaming. Content is everywhere, and we know how to do it.
Thank you. To Miss Levy, my favorite Star Wars fan on the planet. Just want to say absolutely thank you. And you're great. Okay.
Thank you for having me, and I'm so glad you're doing this. I think we all need a reminder of how awesome
We
we are.
are. We're awesome. We're all unicorns. We're special. Okay. Bye.
Thank you so much.